Welcome back in this lecture series on topic solutions, and in that colligative properties of non-electrolyte solutions. In last three videos, we have studied about the colligative properties such as vapor pressure lowering, boiling point elevation, freezing point depression, and today we will discuss about the fourth colligative property, that is osmotic pressure. It is generally denoted by letter pi. In this video we will discuss about semi-permeable membrane first. Then what is meant by osmosis. Then osmotic pressure. Different types of solutions such as isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, hypotonic solutions. Then relation between osmotic pressure and concentration, and relation between osmotic pressure and molar mass of a solute, and also reverse osmosis. Now let us study first about semi-permeable membrane. You have observed in nature as well as at home, that is wilted flowers, when these are kept in fresh water, then they get revived. Similarly, when dry fruits are placed in the water, they get swollen. Now if you look into these processes, then one thing is common in both these substances, that is they are bounded by membrane, and through which water enter into the solution. So these membranes are known as what? Semi-permeable membrane. Now semi-permeable membranes are film-like structure. These are like a sheet or a film which contain a microscopic pores, and through these pores solvent molecule enters. Very small particles can enter through this, as the size of these pores is very small, and bigger particles such as sugar molecules, urea molecules, sodium chloride molecules, this cannot pass through this membrane. So semi-permeable membrane is a film such as cellophane, which allows the solvent molecules to pass through them. And these are of two types: natural membranes and artificial membrane. Now natural membranes are those membranes which are obtained from natural source, that means a vegetable source or animal source, and artificial membranes are obtained from chemical compounds in laboratory. Out of these two, the natural membranes are very delicate, and these cannot withstand at high pressure, and therefore generally the chemists do not use these natural membranes. But artificial membranes are strong one, and therefore chemists generally in laboratory use such a artificial membranes. Now we will see some examples of natural membranes and artificial membranes. So here there are some pictures. The egg membrane is there. Then it is an example of what? The natural membrane. Onion cell walls, these are also act as a natural membrane. Cell walls of dry fruits, they also, that is grapes, they also acts as a natural membrane. Artificial membranes are cellophane paper, then parchment paper, or some inorganic PPTs such as copper ferrocyanide. Most important point, that is many times in question paper it is asked That is, which one of the following is artificial membrane, or what is the correct formula of the artificial membrane? So here Cu2FeCN6, that is nothing but what? Copper ferrocyanide. It is an inorganic precipitate and it acts as an artificial membrane. Remember that. Then next point, that is osmosis. Now osmosis means a spontaneous flow of solvent molecules through semi-permeable membrane from its high concentration to its low concentration. Now see here in this example, in this diagram, here in this compartment, this blue circles indicates water and these green circles indicate sugar. So in this compartment water is present and in this compartment sugar solution is there, and here the concentration of the water is high, that is solvent is high, and here the concentration of water is low, and both these solutions, that is water and sugar solutions, are separated by what? Semi-permeable membrane. So spontaneous flow of solvent molecules through semi-permeable membrane from its high concentration. Concentration of water is high in this compartment and concentration of water is low in this compartment, that is in solution compartment. Therefore, from its high concentration, that means water's high concentration is considered here, from its high concentration to its low concentration, and this flow is called as what? Osmotic pressure. Water enters through the semi-permeable membrane into the sugar solution, and this flow of water from high concentration to its low concentration is known as what? Osmosis. Here, as only water molecule is there and as it is a pure solvent, its vapor pressure is high, and as it is a solution, its vapor pressure is low. From high vapor pressure to low vapor flow, direction of the flow of the solution solvent is what? From high pressure to low pressure. That is called as what? Osmosis. Now, when osmosis takes place, then the volume of solution side increases as the solvent enter into the solution. So volume of solution increases but its concentration decreases. As water enter into this, it becomes dilute. Sugar solution becomes, suppose if sugar and water are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, then when water enter into the sugar solution, the volume of sugar solution increases but its concentration decreases. So the amount of liquid on pure solvent side or more dilute solution side decreases while the amount of liquid on other side increases, and this results in decrease in concentration of solution. So due to osmosis, what happens? The concentrated solution of any non-volatile solute or non-electrolyte solute, it becomes dilute. Now the next point, which is most important in this topic, that is osmotic pressure. Now osmotic pressure is generally denoted by letter pi, and the hydrostatic pressure that stops osmosis is an osmotic pressure. Now hydrostatic pressure built up on the solution will just stop the osmosis. Therefore, osmotic pressure is exactly equal to hydrostatic pressure, and osmotic pressure is denoted by pi, and their hydrostatic pressure is equal to H into rho into G. Therefore, H is equal to height of liquid column in the tube. Rho means density of solution and g means acceleration due to gravity. Now this can be better understood by the this experiment. By studying this experiment, it will be more clear to you. See here, in this experiment, a thistle tube is taken, and in this mouth of this thistle tube is covered with the semi-permeable membranes such as parchment paper or cellophane paper, and this tube is filled with a concentrated sugar solution, and the whole assembly is then immersed in a container which contain water, that is a pure solvent. And when you kept it for some time, then what happens? What happens here? The water inside this container, that is pure solvent, enter through this semi-permeable membrane into the thistle tube, like this. Water inside this enter through this semi-permeable membrane into this thistle tube, and this is due to what? The osmosis, because osmosis is a spontaneous flow of a solvent molecule through semi-permeable membrane from its high concentration to low concentration. So water enter into this sugar solution, and so that what happens? The height of the liquid column in this thistle tube increases, and at the end what happens? After some time, this rise in the liquid column stops. Further increase or rise in the of the liquid inside this tube does not take place. It remains constant, and this is due to hydrostatic pressure. At this particular point, equilibrium is attained, and both the processes takes place with equal rate, and hydrostatic pressure becomes exactly equal to osmotic pressure, and therefore the such a pressure is called as what? Osmotic pressure. So osmotic pressure means the liquid column in the tube creates hydrostatic pressure, which pushes the solvent molecules back through the membrane into the container. And when the rate of forward and reverse processes becomes equal, then equilibrium is established, and the height of the liquid column in the tube remain constant, and at that time pi is equal to H into rho into G, that is hydrostatic pressure. Now, depending upon the osmotic pressure, solutions are of three types: isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, and hypotonic solution. Now, isotonic solutions means if two solutions have same osmotic pressure, then they are said to be isotonic. मग हे केव्हा होईल? तर जेव्हा दोन्ही सोल्युशन मध्ये नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्युल्स सेम असतील. That means as it is osmotic pressure is a colligative property, it depends upon number of particles present in the solution. So when the two solutions have same number of particles, then both these solutions exert the same osmotic pressure, and such a solutions are called as what? Isotonic solution. And in such a solution, if these solutions are separated by semi-permeable membrane, then there is no flow of solvent in either direction. For example, urea, 0.1 molar urea solution. You know that urea has formula NH2CO NH2, and its molar mass is 60 grams. And the 0.1 molar sucrose solution. Now sucrose solution has molar mass 342.2. So both have different molar masses, but their concentration is same, and therefore both these are what? Isotonic solutions. So pi 1, suppose pi 1 is the osmotic pressure of urea and pi 2 is the osmotic pressure of sucrose, then pi 1 is equal to pi 2. Then second type, that is what? Hypotonic solution. If the two solutions are there and out of these two solutions, one solution is dilute and another solution is concentrated. Then the solution which is dilute has low osmotic pressure as compared to the other solution, and such a solutions which has low osmotic pressure or which is dilute, that is called as a hypotonic solution. For example, if the osmotic pressure of sucrose solution is higher than urea solution, then the urea solution is hypotonic to sucrose solution. युरियाचं लो प्रेशर काय आहे, ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशर कमी आहे, त्यामुळे ते काय झालं, हायपोटोनिक झालं. लक्षात घ्या. देन नेक्स्ट दॅट इज हायपरटोनिक सोल्युशन. इफ टू सोल्युशन्स आर देअर अँड द सोल्युशन विच हॅज मोर osmotic pressure or higher osmotic pressure than the other, then such a solution has a more which is more concentrated. So such a solution is known as what? Hypertonic solution. For example, if osmotic pressure of sucrose is higher than that of the urea, then sucrose is hypertonic solution, hypertonic to the urea, and if both have same, then it is called as what? The isotonic solution. See here in this diagram, what happens? These are the red blood cells. When water enter into these red blood cells, then what happens? These cell walls of these red blood cells are very delicate, and as the water enter into this, as their concentration are different, the red blood cells burst. And in this case, the concentration of the red blood cell, fluid inside the red blood cell is higher than water. So water is hypotonic to the fluid inside the red blood cell, or the fluid inside the red blood cell is hypertonic with the water. So see here, if the cells are placed in distilled water, the cell get burst, because due to osmosis water enter into this red blood cell, and swelling of the red blood cell takes place, and as these are delicate one, membranes are very delicate, they get burst. But the same water, same red blood cells, if you kept in a concentrated salt solution, then they get shrink, and water inside this is given out, they loses the water. Then the relation between osmotic pressure and concentration of solution. Now you know that we are considering here osmotic pressure, which is a colligative property, and therefore for dilute solutions are considered, and for dilute solution the osmotic pressure is equal to pi is equal to N2 into R into T divided by V, where N2 means number of moles of solute, R means gas constant, T means temperature in Kelvin, and V means the volume of solution in decimeter cube. But you know that the number of moles, that is N2 divided by V, that is volume of solution, is nothing but what? Molarity of the solution, because what is the definition of molarity? Number of moles of solute dissolved or dissolved in the 1 decimeter cube of solution. So N2 divided by V is nothing but what? Molarity. So if you substitute the value in N2 divided by V, if you substitute the value of this, then osmotic pressure, that is pi, is equal to M into R into T. That is what? Osmotic pressure, and relation between osmotic pressure and concentration. Now we will see the relation between osmotic pressure and molar mass of a solute from this equation. So you know that here pi is equal to N2 into R into T divided by V. Now if the mass of the solute is in V liter of solution is equal to W, mass is equal to W2, and molar mass is equal to M2 of solute. and number of moles of solute is equal to W2 divided by M2. Then if you substitute the value of N2 in this equation, above equation, then pi is equal to W2 divided by M2 into R into T divided by P, or pi is equal to W2 into R into T divided by M2 into V, or M2, that is molar mass of solute, is equal to W2 into R into T divided by pi into V. That is, for using this equation you can calculate what? Molar mass of a solute, or you can calculate osmotic pressure. So you can calculate molar mass of a solute if you know the osmotic pressure of the solution. And osmotic pressure of a very dilute solution, the value of osmotic pressure of a very dilute solution is a measurable quantity, and therefore generally if you compare the other colligative properties, then generally to calculate molar mass of a solute, this colligative property is generally used. Now the next point, that is reverse osmosis. रिव्हर्स ऑस्मॉसिस म्हणजे ऑस्मॉसिसच्या अगदी विरुद्ध प्रोसेस, त्याला काय म्हणायचं? रिव्हर्स ऑस्मॉसिस. नाउ व्हेन दी two solutions, that is salt solution and pure water, when these are separated by semi-permeable membrane, then when pressure more than osmotic pressure means what? A pressure applied on the solution side which stops the flow of osmosis, that is called as what? Osmotic pressure. जे प्रेशर आपण सोल्युशन साईडला अप्लाय केल्यानंतर ऑस्मॉसिसची प्रोसेस फक्त स्टॉप होते, त्याला काय म्हणायचं? ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशर. बट रिव्हर्स ऑस्मॉसिस मीन्स व्हॉट? व्हेन द प्रेशर ऑन सोल्युशन साइड, इफ pressure greater than osmotic pressure is applied on the solution side, then what happens? The solvent molecules from solution passes through the semi-permeable membrane into a pure solvent, and that process is called as what? Reverse osmosis. When pressure larger than the osmotic pressure of solution is applied to solution, then pure solvent from the solution flows from solution to pure solvent through semi-permeable membrane, and that process is called as reverse osmosis. रिव्हर्स ऑस्मॉसिसचं जे टेक्निक आहे ते समुद्राच्या पाण्यापासून ड्रिंकिंग वॉटर मिळवण्यासाठी केलं जातं. सो द रिव्हर्स ऑस्मॉसिस इज यूज फॉर डिसलायनेशन ऑफ अ सी वॉटर फॉर गेटिंग फ्रेश ड्रिंकिंग वॉटर, किंवा आर ओ फिल्टर्स जे असतात त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा याचा वापर केला जातो. सो दिस इज द प्रोसेस. सी हियर इन दिस ॲनिमेशन इट इज शोन दॅट हियर इज इन दिस कंपार्टमेंट सॉल्ट वॉटर इज देअर and in this fresh water is there. When pressure greater than osmotic pressure is applied on salt water or on the solution side, then only the water molecules passes through this membrane, and salt, that is NaCl molecules remain on the, salt molecules remain on the that does not passes through this semi permeable, remain as it is on this side, and such a process is called as what? Reverse osmosis. So here also shown that fresh water and salty water are separated by this semi-permeable membrane, and pressure larger than osmotic pressure of the solution, when it is applied to the solution, then pure water from salty water passes into fresh water through the semi-permeable membrane. इथे या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला दाखवलेलं आहे आर ओ मेम्ब्रेनचं फंक्शनिंग कसं असतं ते. प्रेशर सॉल्ट साईडचं जे सोल्युशन आहे तिथं प्रेशर अप्लाय केलं जातं, त्यामुळे सॉल्ट पार्टिकल्स याच कंपार्टमेंटमध्ये राहतात आणि प्युअर वॉटर सेपरेट होतं, आणि जो राहिलेला डिस्चार्ज आहे सॉल्टचा तो बाहेर पडतो ॲज अ ब्राईन डिस्चार्ज म्हणून. सो दिस इज अबाउट व्हॉट? द रिव्हर्स ऑस्मॉसिस. रिव्हर्स ऑस्मॉसिसचे प्लांट्स तामिळनाडू, मद्रास, चेन्नई या ठिकाणी बऱ्यापैकी आहेत. सो दिस इज अबाउट रिव्हर्स osmosis. We will see the next time the colligative properties of electrolyte solutions. Thank you.